Fahnestock State Park has many fishing lakes, including Canopus Lake. The biggest of the lakes, Canopus, offers boat rentals with convenient access. As a result, it's a fantastic area to take kids since there are places to fish from the beach. Bluegill, catfish, largemouth bass, yellow perch, chain pickerel, and black crappie are just few of the species you can catch. Night crawlers, red worms, and shiners, as well as standard artificial lures, are effective for the species you're targeting. In this Canopus Lake fishing guide, we are going to share all useful information that you need to know before you proceed with your fishing adventures. What exactly is Canopus Lake? Clarence Fahnestock State Park in northern Putnam County, New York, has Canopus Lake, a tiny lake. At its broadest point, the lake is roughly 1.5 miles long and 1/4 mile wide. Pelton Pond is just to its east. On NY 301, just west of the Taconic State Parkway, sits the lake. The jewel of the park, the beach at the lake, is utilized for swimming, boating, and fishing. Some cross-country skiers utilize the flat area as a route in the winter. The Appalachian Trail runs beside the lake on the west side. Greater than read, is traveling a hobby? The ultimate guide to an exciting way of life. Greater than learn about the downsides of traveling as a hobby. Canopus Lake, NY fishing restrictions. New York fishing restrictions are subject to change throughout the year. Before you go fishing, be sure to check this page for the most up-to-date rules and restrictions for the current season. When you can fish, the maximum size of fish you may keep, how many fish you can retain, and other factors are governed by local rules. Basic Canopus Lake fishing information. When you go Canopus Lake fishing, you are fishing in a body of water that is designated as a Canopus Lake. A Canopus Lake is a reasonably quiet body of water that is nearly fully surrounded by land and has a river or stream feeding into or draining from it. A Canopus Lake containing fish that you can catch might be man-made or natural, with natural Canopus Lakes often yielding better results. You may or may not be possible to fish from a boat, depending on the size of the Canopus Lake and its location. If you have access to a boat, you may only be able to utilize a trolling motor. Many Canopus Lakes in the United States have maintained fish populations thanks to county or state-run stocking programs. A Canopus Lake fishing trip. The distinction between a Canopus Lake and a pond is not defined by an international standard. Many people feel the difference between the two is due to size, water supply, or a mix of the two. Canopus Lakes are not always freshwater just because they are landlocked. The Great Salt Canopus Lake and Canopus Lake Ermia are two examples of Canopus Lakes with significant salt concentrations. Fish may or may not be able to live or grow to a size suitable for fishing, depending on the salt content. Canopus Lakes will have creel limitations, much as ponds and other bodies of water. A creel limit is the maximum number of fish and/or size of fish you may remove from a Canopus Lake in one day. Tips, tricks, and techniques for Canopus Lake fishing. Are you ready to go the water and catch some fish? You may wish to read and implement some of our Canopus Lake fishing advice before you head out. While they aren't unique to any one fish species, they may be used with our other fishing advice to help you become a better fisherman. Your friends are inlets and outlets. Fish, like people, like certain temperatures and will tend to congregate in certain sections of a Canopus Lake. The areas where water enters or exits a Canopus Lake are usually significantly colder and more fish-friendly. Bait fish, as well as the large monster fish that devour them, tend to congregate in these places. Choose the right bait. Natural freshwater baits such as crickets, worms, minnows, and leeches are excellent choices. Live bait is also rather inexpensive. Amazon, for example, offers a fantastic price on live crickets. We propose fishing jigs for artificial lures. Because they can capture almost every sort of freshwater fish, they are the most versatile in Canopus Lakes. The Terminator Pro jig is our preferred brand. Keep an eye on the temperature. As the temperature outdoors rises, you'll need to fish deeper. Because fish prefer cold temperatures, they will withdraw to deeper, cooler water when the outside temperature increases. Fish will come to shallower water to eat between night and morning, some shallower than others. To discover more about the exact sort of fish you're attempting to capture, do some research. Find sunken structures. Fish like to congregate around structures that give them with a sense of security while also allowing them to ambush other fish. Fishing may be done in structures such as felled trees, branches, and even man-made fish habitats. If you purchase a kit like the moss-back fish habitat, you may simply create your own building. Search for weeds. Many largemouth bass and northern pike like to ambush their prey from the comfort of a weed bed, So look for any weed beds in the Canopus Lake you're fishing in and see if you can get your bait and or lure into that area to see if you can get a bite. The finest weed beds are those that go to deeper water and produce a break line. Work with the wind. On days when the wind is high, bait fish will be driven closer to the shore, causing the larger fish to approach closer to eat. Keep an eye out for drift lines and follow them. They'll take you to bait fish, which will bring you to large fish. Canopus Lake Fishing Safety Information. When fishing on a Canopus Lake, it's crucial to always wear a life jacket and adhere to all local and state restrictions. If you want to fish from the beach and wade into the Canopus Lake, use a wader belt to keep the water from filling up your waders too quickly if you fall. Make sure there are no hooks left behind where you fish or along the water's edge. Hooks may harm wild animals, household pets, and even humans. Keep in mind that we share our Canopus lakes with fish, animals, and other people, so keep them clean and don't throw waste in. Final words. Canopus Lake is a lake in Putnam County, New York, in Richardsville, New York, about 6 miles from Brinkerhoff. Largemouth bass, bullhead, bream/bluegill, pickerel, and perch are among the species that may be caught here. Join us as we go through the many New York fishing license choices, as well as fishing laws and restrictions. Always check with the local Fish and Wildlife Department to see whether the stream is available to the public. Now go out and catch some fish. Check out our table of fishing times to see when the fish are most active. Then you can get the most out of Canopus Lake fishing.